Hi, Chris. How are you doing?
Good. How are things over there at Magnetic Materials?
Oh, functioning well as usual. How about you guys?
Same here. Same here. I mean, we're pretty excited about the Z25, and I'm pretty sure so are you guys, because there might be some mutual potential for the both of us there. So
Definitely. I think, I'd love this opportunity to talk about transferring the rights over to our department, and hopefully we can come to some sort of win-win agreement that works really well for you guys, benefits us as well, and the company as a whole, really.
yeah,
Because
definitely.
we work for the same place, just a little bit different.
Definitely. I mean, we take some special pride in the development of Z25, and when others passed on it, we jumped in and we went in there and took the chance on it. But we are aware that we can't sell externally, and I think that it would be beneficial for El-Tek as a whole to have the ability to sell to externally as well as internally, even though I know we can do it. So I think it'll be a great opportunity for the business to profit as a whole, for El-Tek to profit as a whole.
Yeah.
And while we do want this, we also want to ensure that we are given
Fair compensation.
our compensation and whatever credit we can get for taking the chance or the leap on it.
Yeah, you did the brunt of the work, and I want to come to some sort of agreement that represents that and gives you guys credit for what you did. And I do think that we have a unique opportunity to do this transfer of rights, as we are the exclusive charter to sell magnets externally. So I think we should be able to come to an agreement that works best for both of us. Considering that, I know when we were looking at, variable costs for you guys and your department and variable costs for us, we have a 5% decrease in variable costs in production. So in that sense, it could really benefit the company as a whole for us to manufacture and produce and sell these. That's why I think it'd be really another good point why it'd be important to transfer the rights over to us. But.
Right. Yeah. Well, I guess we can start the conversation about what would be a fair exchange.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to you would be, I have a couple of questions for you, actually. So as you may or may not be aware, in today's dollars, the developmental costs are approximately $12 million. Will Magnetics be willing to compensate us for the cost of the developmental cost of this?
Yes. Your investment completely. I think that's fair and reasonable. What's important to me, and I'm sure important to you, is I'm sure you're thinking about what kind of limitations there could be on selling the product externally, because you have to think of, your competitive advantage in your division and what's important for you guys and what's going to keep you afloat and thriving. But I think, I wouldn't want to hinder the profits too much in regards to making extreme limitations on who we can sell to, but I'm willing to work with you to find a happy, medium of what could work. Do you have any ideas on that?
Well, yeah. We want to have a competitive advantage, obviously, from not only our competitors within El-Tek, but also with our competitors externally. So we would like exclusive rights to Z25 for a certain limited number of time, and that can be agreed upon between us. I was thinking maybe 18 months. Exclusive rights to Z25 for 18 months.
So that's going to be a little bit too high for us as far as, making the profit that we want, considering that there's only a 24-month lifespan of this product anyways. So that's really pushing it as far as what we get back in return.
Right.
Ideally what I would prefer, obviously, is absolutely no restrictions in what we sell, but I think that's kind of unrealistic.
Right.
Thinking about you guys and thinking about us. Ideally, I would prefer if it was more like a 6-month limitation selling to your direct competitor with no limitations on any El-Tek divisions. That's something that I'd be interested in, but I'm willing to work with you on the 6-month figure and going higher.
How about a 12-month restriction for all competitors within and external?
So the only problem with that is that obviously profit. If we're already giving you guys what I want to do is like a reasonable transfer price, and then you are taking away internal profits as well as external profits, it's going to be, you know, not really like a fair trade per se. I'm willing to do a 12-month restriction to your direct competitor though. So I will raise, you know, limitations to your direct competitor, but I'm not really willing to do anything as far as internal competition.
We really need that internal competition. We really need that internal restriction. So perhaps we can work on the timeline of that internal restriction. Maybe give us a 12-month restriction on external, and maybe we can settle on a 9-month restriction internally.
Can you share with me why it's so important, you know, for you and your division to have that internal restrictions?
I just feel that it gives us a competitive advantage to have that technology in our products. And at the end of the day, it's about maximizing the profitability of our division. As much as I do care about the profitability of El-Tek overall, I do have to watch how our division's operating, and it'll help to ensure the profitability of audio components.
Mm-hmm.
I am willing to work on the restriction of internally limiting the technology to other El-Tek divisions. Ideally, I want to make this as simple as possible. So if we can agree on a timeline for both internally and externally, so we don't make it too complicated, I would appreciate that.
What if we make some compromise and I will agree to the 12-month external to direct competitors, and instead of agreeing to internal as well, what if we, let's see what we can do. You guys are obviously going to need, once we start producing the Z25, you are going to need it back in your products, correct?
Right.
We already supply a good majority of our magnets to you guys.
Right.
And instead of charging you for the magnets, we give them to you back for free. That way you are still you're saving money because you can pocket whatever you would have spent back on the magnets. So you're creating profit in your division. And you're also getting that 12-month deal for, you know, external direct competition, giving you that competitive edge for 1 year over any direct competition.
While I do like that idea, I think what is fair is that we do purchase it at cost. So I know that internally you would have to mark it up to give yourself at least a 10% profit. So in the transfer price, including the developmental cost, I think it's fair that we add $500,000 of buyback costs, because that would have been the profit that you would have made on our buyback, because we plan to buy at least $5 million worth of the Z25 material back. However, it still limits the competitive advantage we're going to have to our competitors. We don't know how much profit we can make if another company is directly competing with us. They might go after our customer base. Mm-hmm. So it's more important for us to have that limitation so we can achieve competitive advantage.
I completely understand what you're saying, and I know it's a big concern of yours to have that competitive advantage and to focus on your division and what's best for you. However, we do need to remember that our divisions weren't set up to have internal competition so much, but they were set up to, well, there is internal competition, but to limit, limitations on external profitability. And I think it would be in the best interest of El-Tek and its profitability as a company as a whole to really allow sales between divisions without any restrictions. I completely understand where you're coming from as far as like external profits, and perhaps there could be some leeway on that. Maybe I can push it up a little bit on the external side and we eliminate internal. That way you have competitive advantage from your direct competitors, which is more important than the internal side. Is that something you'd be willing to compromise with?
Well, let me ask you this. Maybe we could do it this way. Has your financial team prepared any estimates on the profitability of Z25 internally as well as externally?
Yes, we definitely have. Give me a couple seconds. How about you tell me what your financial team has gathered for you, and I will pull up mine now, okay?
Well, actually, I would prefer that we go the other direction. So maybe we can make a deal on the profitability and a share of the profitability of Z25, so that we're sharing in the profitability maybe to internal and external competitors, if that's something that you're willing to do, as opposed to what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, I can definitely look at that. If you just want to give me 1 second while I pull up this document. I had it up when we started our conversation, and I think I may have accidentally exited out of it.
No problem. Take your time.
Is there any other factors that are extremely, important to you as I pull this up that you want to discuss?
I think that the transfer price, sharing in the profits of the Z25 technology.
Christine?